Okay.
I'm not sure. I
Yeah,
know.
I thought he was moving on Friday, but
I can't remember. I sent him a text message and he said he just said he was wide open boxing stuff and trying to move. So he said he was going to try to get on tonight, but he couldn't promise anything. So I told him if he had any good info, I would call him in the morning.
okay. Yeah, we'll record it too.
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
I'll tell you guys, just in general, just a different kind. Jeff, it's crazy how fast his house sold. He put his house on the market. He didn't do anything to it as is, and it sold off the hook. And then when he was looking for houses, every offer he put in was no, no, no. He put in multiple offers. He looked at 14 houses and seven. And then he asked his realtor, can I put in seven offers at once? Because they were getting taken so fast. And so he put seven offers in at once. And then the next day it was like, no, 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 no. And then finally one hit. And then so he liked it.
Real estate market is
Real
crazy.
estate market is going nuts. All right. Well, I guess Bob kind of is what it is at this point, or what?
Yeah, Cynthia just is coming in, and then Kaylee is the 309 number.
Okay, Kaylee.
Write them down for attending for now.
Okay.
Not on the waiting room, but yeah, if we want to get started, should roll.
All right. Let's go. So anyways, we just wanted to have this meeting because Regina, she's been out there. She was working with Ben for probably what, Regina, probably about 3 weeks now, maybe.
Well, the first call he had with Ronnie and I was back in the middle of February, so
Okay.
a little bit longer.
Yeah, a little bit longer. And so Regina's out there, been out there trying to, pitch in this program to the contacts. And it was slow at first because we didn't really want to go 90 miles an hour. And then, so Regina's been out there pitching this, and I think you're probably up to a dozen presentations, right?
Yes, we've
So
got a couple that are scheduled that haven't happened yet, but yeah, 12 plus, yes.
So we felt that it was beneficial for her to share how she's been pitching this to her contacts and her schools. And you take that information and run with it as much as you want to use. So, so Regina, why don't you just go for it?
Okay. All right. Well, in the beginning, I made a list of 5 contacts that I felt I had a really, really good relationship with, that, that I could go at the angle, we're doing this new thing. We're looking for a school to walk through the process with us, to make sure that we've dotted all of our I's and crossed all of our T's. So I kind of went at it as they were doing me a favor to set for the presentation. So the 5 people I had on my first list, we have presented to 3 out of those 5. The other 2, one just said, "Oh, we don't do any fundraiser." I said, "It's not a fundraiser. It's a book, or a book." Yeah, words.
Literacy program, book drive.
Book drive. And anyways, she wasn't interested. I was very shocked. And the other lady, she just hasn't gotten back with me, but she has a new principal this year, and so that may be part of it. So anyways, out of those first 5, and after you talk to, get your first group of people that you really feel comfortable talking to, after each one, I felt more comfortable talking to them. After that, I then went to email, and I had a book list that Charlie Schneider had sent me, and it's not the same book list anymore, so I can't send it to anybody, but I just sent out an email to certain routes, and I just put a little blurb on there that we are launching a new line in the fall, and that it guaranteed 1 free book for every student in your school. And I attached the book list, and from that, and I asked people to send it on to their principals and their librarians. From that, a few more people responded, and we've continued to, do presentations. And we've actually booked one this afternoon. It's going to launch April 12th. And they are going to receive the books after they get out of school, because they get out on May 14th. but they believe so much in what we're doing. They are going to do a drive-through for the students to come through and pick up their books after school's out. So now what I'm doing, because I am in some of my schools now. So, Jim, if you want to pull up.
Yes. Yep. Bob, can you allow me to share?
It's done. Go ahead.
All
So now I know that Jim said that some things have been shared with you guys or whatever.
Yeah, we just, Bob and I just sent out a PDF file today. And
Okay.
it incorporated the cell sheet, which we'll get to next slide,
Yes.
as well as the reading list, which is different from your reading list. The reading list we sent out is the picture reading list.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So I just snagged the logo off of something else and put it on here. And this is just kind of my cover letter. And of course, being on this screen, it's not the same as if it's on a regular sheet of paper. So the logo is really big and, you know, just to catch their attention. So I've got this on there and, you know, I mean, you can see what it says and just asking them to, you know, email me to set up an appointment to do the presentation, and then go to the next slide, which is the cell sheet that you guys all received today. And let me backtrack just a little bit. In the email that I sent out, I put this in the body of the email along with some of my own comments. So, you know, it was eye-catching when they opened the email, this was there. So I think this is the current one. I don't think they've changed this. Okay, and then I had an event that was booked, and then they had to wait until fall to do it. And so I had some treasure maps and stuff that had already been ordered for me, and they didn't stop them at the printer. So next I have the treasure map. And so this is actually, and the printer sent me the wrong one. So I've been taking a black marker on the link where it says the Hutto Elementary School. I've been marking that out. So anyways, this shows the treasure map.
And just so you guys, sorry, Regina, just so you guys know, obviously if you checked out the PDF that we sent, this is not included in your PDF. So really the way we talked about it on Friday with Ben is you have your cell sheet, and then on a separate page, you have the reading list on the front and back of a separate page.
Then this is what the reading list did look like. And, you know, so I've got these in the really nice copies because they were, you know, the mistake that was sent to me. So anyways, this is my last page with the books and everything. And so what I've been doing as I am making my deliveries, whether I'm making virtual deliveries or actually have a display, I am giving them this packet, and it looks nice. And I'm asking them to give it to their principal or their librarian. And at this point, because we have actual data now, you know, I'm sharing, you know, we have a school event live right now, and, you know, whatever it's up to $24,000 today. Now, the other thing that I have been doing on some of our schools that we have presented to, that I've got 2 that are going to launch in September, and a couple others that they're trying to figure out dates and everything. So to keep the excitement going and everything, especially since this is all brand new, and you know, I've been giving them updates on the dollar value. The live event is up to now. So, you know, every couple of days I've been sending them an email. I sent a couple of them an email today and said, you know, the event's up to $24,000. And so, you know, that gets everybody pumped. Now, it is challenging to get them to commit both their time and their administrator's time for the presentation. If you can get them both on the call, they love the program. There's not anybody that we presented to that said, oh, we don't want to do this. You know, this doesn't sound good. I mean, everybody wants to do the program. We've had a couple that they were just like, oh, you know, my administrator let me do whatever, and so we went ahead and presented to them. And if we were ever doing a presentation that we didn't have an administrator, I always have Ben record it so that we can send it to them later, because there was one that we didn't record and we really needed it. And you'll find at different levels, and it just depends on, every district is different. We had 2 schools in one district that we had presented to. One was a primary school, one was an intermediate school within the same town. And we have a follow-up meeting with one of the schools at the end of May to schedule them for next year. And they needed district permission. So I go to the Board of Education in that county. So I just called my lady there and I told her what I needed, and she connected me with the right person. So then we did a presentation for the person who needed to present it the next step up at Board of Education. And she is working on that process, and she's told me that she plans to endorse our program to all of our elementary and middle schools. But it's different in every county, and you just kind of have to feel your way. Between Friday and today, Ben and I presented at 3 schools, all in the same county. These principals have final authority what they do in their school. Nobody has to go to the district office to get permission. But it's just kind of, you know, feeling your way to what really has to happen. I don't know. Questions?
Yeah. I'm just curious. I see Ronnie on. Ronnie, do you have any experience on what you've been going through since you started trying to get presentations?
Honestly, we haven't really gave it 100% focus yet. I mean, we've been dabbling around, but we've been trying to get in schools, and we're going with 15 items, and we're trying to figure out how to do this without our regular job, without doing paper order forms and all this. So we're about to go, you know, head first into it. And what stopped us was the fact that, okay, only so many for now in the spring. And so now it's trying to focus on. And basically what we're going to do to get this fast and get it done is basically put some emails out to some of our principals, superintendent's office, people that we know really well, that, you know, that we know we're gonna be able to hook up pretty fast with, and go from there. You know, we have a lot of experience as far as we did the book fairs this past fall. And so there's, you know, we've got a lot of schools in the bank. We just need to, you know, really go on it. What I would like to do is maybe, you know, take some of this, the flyers, that type of thing. We're going to put it together, put something up on an email, and just mass blow it out, because everybody knows us. And we've been doing it, you know, the old books are fun name. I think it's gonna make it really pop also. So yeah, so we're just we're about ready to get crazy on it. So
Everyone loves to see the books are fun name coming back.
Yeah, I
Gina,
bet.
Yes.
how did you go about doing it in schools that you were only virtual in? We have a big amount of schools that we're not even in, they won't even let us in, that I think would benefit from this. It's one of where the kids need books most. How do you go about, what would you do to get in those?
You know, try emailing whatever you have. And I would put something in the body of the email, like cut and paste the sell sheet, so that, you know, there's something that gets their attention. And follow up, you know, are you taking orders and dropping them off? Or there's no.
And very few. Okay.
So like tomorrow I've got 2 routes that I'm doing, 7 displays out, and everybody else is virtual. But when I drop off those virtual orders, I'm still going to give them the packet that I've put together. They've already received an email from me, but, you know, now I'm going to put a packet in their hands. But I would start with email, you know, and, you know, just, you know, just reiterate the details. You know, everybody's going to get a free book, no matter if they participate or not. And, you know, and right now, you know, so many schools from what we have heard on the presentations that we've done, everybody's concerned about what's been lost this year, especially for virtual students, and we're going into the summer slide and all that. And so, that's why the school that we're kicking off on the 12th, I mean, they're willing to do this and do a drive-through, because apparently they had to mail a bunch of things last summer, and a lot of addresses, things didn't get to the right students or whatever. So, they're going to just do it as a drive-through because they want that contact, your librarians especially. I mean, they just really want these kids to have something in their hands to read.
Right. Okay.
Regina, when you say packet that you're dropping off, is that just everything that Jim just shared, including
Yes.
including the intro letter?
Yes.
And do you just leave one packet at the school, like one for the librarian, or do you like leave one for the librarian, one for the principal?
Well, I've only been leaving one, and unfortunately, a lot of my contacts aren't the librarians anymore. They're the secretary. And so I've been leaving one, and I've been telling them to give it to the librarian or the administrator, whoever they feel is the best. I honestly think the more librarians' hands we can get this in, the faster we're going to book appointments. And those librarians have to get their administrators on board too. And, and we don't tell them it's a 45-minute presentation until the Zoom invite goes out. They don't know how long they're signing up to sit and talk with us.
Good to know.
How long do you wait before you check back with them if you don't hear from them?
Well, because this has just been, like Ronnie said, in the beginning, we thought we were just looking for one or two schools, and now, we're going full steam ahead. So, like the schools that I left the flyers with last week, I will follow up with them probably with an email tomorrow. And then, the ones that I really want to focus on Thursday, probably try to give them a call.
Okay.
And just ask them, do you have any more questions? And, and they're going to try to get a little bit of information out of you because they want to know what they're really committing to sitting down. And, and I just tell them, it's a great program that is promoting literacy and encouraging the kids to read. And I tell them that the kids are going to get prizes, and they're going to do this treasure map with their parents, and that I make sure up front that they know that it's not going to cost the school a dime, because that, how much is this going to cost? Nothing.
Right.
That's the big thing. It's not going to cost you anything. Because if they think it's going to cost anything whatsoever, they're just going to close their ears and not listen.
Right.
Have
I have
you
a
had
question.
anyone ask about Scholastic?
Ask what about Scholastic?
Just like what's going on with it? Does this have anything to do with Scholastic? Did you guys hook up with Scholastic?
No, on all the presentations, most of them want to work this schedule out, so it's not going to conflict with their Scholastic book fairs. And Ben had told them that, ideally 3 to 4 weeks on one side or the other of their Scholastic book fair is ideal. Because we don't want to compete with their book fair, because that's doing the same thing we're doing, only, we're going at it a different avenue, and the children are getting the books for free. Like the school that we just booked today, apparently they have a lot of community support. They have a couple churches that have adopted a couple of their classrooms, because they were concerned about some of the kids that wouldn't be able to raise any funds or whatever to get more than one book. And so our social media prompts aren't ready. They're going to do their own to reach out to the extra people, and they're probably even going to go in and register these kids that they know that their parents won't, and everything. So it really comes down to the school staff and how dedicated they really are. And this first school that, like I said, this school that we've got booked, I mean, they are just incredible. They're going to do everything in their power to make this successful.
Hey, Regina, can we get a copy of that email that you're using?
Mhm. Who is that? Randy?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell you what, I'll send it to Jim and Jim can send it on.
Thank you. And
Yeah.
by the way, the company couldn't have picked a finer person to do this than you.
Oh, well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Now,
So I have a question for Bob. There's an email address on the cell sheet. Is that email address, or it's info@booksairefun.com? Is that live? I mean, is there something really there?
there will be, now whether that's live or not right now, I don't know. Eventually there will be, because they'll go there for info. Eric, do you know the answer to that yet? You may be listen only. We'll find out, or you can try it. So,
Well, I'm gonna go try it.
I don't, Bob. I'm sorry.
no problem. Regina, whenever you're first telling your contacts about the program, whenever you tell them that every student is guaranteed a book, are you letting them know that it's the top book of their list, the number one book of the grade level, I guess?
Yes, yes.
Do you give examples or titles?
Now I'm walking in with a copy of a book list. And I'm telling them, that this list will change periodically throughout the year because it's going to actually change 3 times now. And so, now I can just show them and, and I point to, this is the book that everyone in kindergarten is guaranteed to receive this book.
Right.
And, and they look at the list and I know different librarians that have looked at the list, like, we presented to a middle school last Friday, and it's an interesting thing, and we're still waiting to see how this is going to work out. So she was interested in bringing on the rising 5th graders in the 3 schools that funnel into her school. And so I said, well, let's see if we can present to them, and maybe those schools will just do it simultaneous with you. And then, all the kids in those schools will be getting books, and that will include your rising 5th graders. And so we sent an email out to the 3 schools, their librarians and their principals on Friday, and she was following up with them today. And we've got one that is willing to do the presentation with us on Thursday. So hopefully the other 2 will get on board. But, and that was just her changing it up. But when I had sent her the list, because we didn't actually have the middle school list, she looked at the 5th grade list and she was like, some of my middle schoolers read the books that are on your 5th grade list. So the librarians themselves have been very impressed with the list.
Awesome.
The school that's done 24,000, how many students did that school have?
It's around 500.
Wow.
429, I think. Is what
Okay.
Yeah.
I-
It was 37% free lunch. He said it's about an average school. Eric, you can chime in if you want. So with it.
Yeah, 419 students, 37% free lunch.
Doug Baltnight, how many elementary schools have you and I've got that's got at least 750 plus students?
I'd say probably the majority of my schools.
We got a bunch of them, don't we?
Yeah, we really do. But that's good for, I think, my Morgans, my Jaspers, my Habershams, my Stevens, they're going to be lower, probably within that range.
Yes.
And if they're doing that kind of coin with that, I think it's going to blow the roof off this thing.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry, Bob, let me correct you. 448 students, 36% free and reduced.
Well, that changes everything, man.
I know. That flips it upside down.
And on that event that's live right now, there were several miscues, things that didn't happen that were supposed to happen. So for them to be doing the numbers that they did, the school had to do some backtracking and fix some things that didn't get done and everything. And so, that's phenomenal numbers.
So Regina, can you send in my treasure maps?
Yeah.
Well, not anymore. I can't, sorry.
I mean, that's only like 160, 170 students. That's incredible.
When you see the dashboard, when it comes up, it'll show you how many emails have been sent, how many been opened, how many people have clicked, and how many people unsubscribe to it. So it's really got a lot of data when you can actually see the dashboard to it.
So Bob, not to interrupt, but Regina, have you had the opportunity do you have access to it? The dashboard?
No.
Bob, I sent you a screenshot, you and Jim.
Yeah, well, do you want to share it, Eric? I got it to where you can share the screen if you want to pull it up.
Let's see.
While you're doing that, I'm just kind of like throwing this out there, brainstorming. So there's obviously some of you that are virtually only, not setting up physical displays. Randy. So, just to put it out there, let's say in your case, Randy, like let's talk about strategy. Like what's going to be your strategy? Is your strategy going to be sending an email to your best contacts?
Well, I think I'm gonna do what Regina suggested. I think I'm gonna, instead of 5, since I'm total virtual, Regina, I was thinking maybe a dozen of my hottest contacts, since I'm total virtual to start off with, and see what kind of feedback I get.
Yeah.
Right. Well, when I started with 5, Randy or Ronnie and I were told just find a couple of schools. So that's why I started with 5. I didn't realize that we were going to do this big push now. So yeah, I've expanded it way past that, but it did give me the opportunity to get more comfortable with what I was, with my spiel. So
That's the key to it. Once you get comfortable with it, then you start going with it.
Right. Exactly.
Repetitiveness is everything.
Bob, can you see my screen?
Yeah. Yep. We sure can.
So yeah. So Regina, like you said, this is the dashboard. And I actually just updated it. So the screenshot that I sent over earlier, it went up $50 since we've all been talking.
Yeah.
Which is great. So it'll show you how many families are complete, how many are incomplete if they messed up the registration. Total participants online shows you how many students, because there's a lot of siblings in the school. And then how many are offline, which is 0, which is a good sign. And the most important thing is how many messages are sent, how many of those messages were opened, how many were clicked. You can always unsubscribe, undelivered, naturally, if you're sending emails to your dog or cat, kind of stuff. And then how many pledges were made, and then total donations.
So
24 to 21.
Compare the
That's
participants
40 plus
online
average.
with the number of pledges. That's huge.
yeah.
Awesome.
What was that again,
It's gotta
Doug?
be in
Compare-
the $38 range, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
compare the participants online, 198, with the amount of pledges, 647, with that grand total, the cash total. That's unbelievable.
$37.43 average.
Yeah, I did the math. That's
But
pretty.
on this,
I almost nailed it blind, actually.
correct me if I'm wrong, Eric, but I believe in the first 24 hours, there were 32 students that earned their entire $100 book list.
Wow.
That's correct. And Bob, do you have, actually, let me see if I can pull that one up real quick.
Hey guys. So can the parents see this screen too?
No.
Okay.
parents can't, but I believe the schools can, can't they?
Your sponsor can, but
Okay.
not, this is not a screen you want to share with all of your teachers and families. This is basically the admin site, but each family will have their own, and I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull it. But each family will have their own family site, so they can see what's going on in their site. Bob, can I stop my share and then pull up what I showed you earlier?
Yep, there you go.
Because there's some really cool stats here that you guys are gonna want to see.
Hey, Ball Knight, why are you sitting in the dark?
Didn't pay his light bill.
Yeah, I'm very comfortable being in the dark. Thank you.
You need the book blast to get the lights back on.
Alexa, turn on office lights.
Lights are motion activated. He's not moving enough.
So Bob, do you have it, or do I need to still look for it?
What are you looking for, Eric?
What are you looking for, Eric?
The spreadsheet that I sent you with the stats for the day from Randy.
Ooh, I don't have that. I got the uptight, what you sent me today was the updated title list. And the information you just shared with everybody.
Yeah, that's all I have too. So while Eric's looking for that, so anyway, so Regina's got 1 book, so that makes 2 for the spring. So we're looking for 8 others.
Remember, it's the first of 200, so for
Well, no, yeah. 8
it's only
others
to the rest of you.
for the spring, though. We need 8 more.
Yeah.
And it could be with what Regina's doing, booking it, even though school gets out, we could schedule it to ship to the students' houses or do some drive-by like Regina's doing.
Man, I like that drive-by idea. That from a cost standpoint, that's huge.
I told him, I said, I will do everything in my power to be there because it'll be after school's out. So, there shouldn't be any reason that I can't be there. And unless it happens to be, I have a trip planned in June with my mom. And Ben said if he could fly in, he was going to fly in. So we'll be filming and everything.
That's great.
And then, yeah, like Bob said, it'll be 200 for the fall. So, yeah.
Bob, do you mind if I share my screen again?
No, go ahead. Hey, Jim, Randy just accepted the meeting, just so you know.
So Bob, can you see this email where it starts with hi, Lisa and Meg?
Oh, yeah, this one. You sent this, I'm sorry. Yeah. Yep.
So I just wanted to share some really cool stats with everybody. This was a message that I sent out to our sponsor today, and granted, we're over 24,000 right now, but this was this morning. And
hey, Eric, can you enlarge that a little bit?
let me see if I can.
There you go.
There, yeah, that's there.
Is that better?
Yep.
Everybody? So this was just a quick update because we do updates every couple days with all of our sponsors. And, this is basically the end of week 1, right, with this campaign. And then when we ran the reports, we were at 22,400. And then by the time I got done running the reports and preparing the email, we had already raised an additional $1,000. So that was super cool. And I just wanted to share some stats with their team. So they, at the time of the reports that I had attached to it, They had raised over $22,000, which is going to continue to climb. Obviously, it has. We're over 24,000 right now. And the students had earned 1,479 books. Like, those are real live books in their hands.
That's
That's
awesome.
super cool. In addition, Hutto Elementary, they earned a $7,705.84 shopping spree to booksaretfun.com on the website. So that's super cool. And all the students earned an additional $800 in a shopping spree. So a lot going on. These numbers are just going up. This is just kind of like the halfway mark. But, and then I always remind them of how many students have registered and how many students have qualified. And then side note, we had one student that we couldn't account for. So,
And then Eric, didn't you say that you've got the third principal reminder email going out to the parents tomorrow and then one other reminder before it's over?
so principal email number 3 is going out tomorrow. And that goes from the principal directly to the families. Because they have the hot button to make that happen. And then the final system reminder. So if you go back to, did that pull the website back up, Bob?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Are you still looking at the email or are you looking at the?
No, we're looking at the data.
Okay, perfect. Let me see if I can. Okay, so does that make it easier for everybody in large?
Yep.
But okay, so you can see that there's 1,455 messages that have been sent. That's this number where my mouse is. There's been 647 pledges that have been paid. So if you can do some quick math, that leaves you what, about 800-ish?
Yeah.
So, so although we've raised 24,221, there's still about 800 of these folks that have not donated yet. So the final reminder is going to go out on Friday. So that's the third and final last call reminder. So this number will continue to grow. I bet we end up probably around, what did I say, Bob, 27, but probably 27, 28,000.
Yeah, you're saying 28 earlier. So yeah.
So yeah, so this number will continue to grow, and then the website will shut down a week from Friday. But as far as the school's concerned, the event ends on the 31st. 2 days, which that's a misprint, actually. There's another mix up for our first test event. But nonetheless, the final reminder goes out on April 2nd. Oh, that's the turn-in day, which we don't do on this. So we'll change that.
Well, in good news, the middle school that was trying to get the 3 elementary schools to all do a presentation, I just got an email from the second school that's going to do the presentation with us Thursday morning. So 1 more to go, and we could have 4 schools simultaneous.
Nice.
Awesome. Man, it's
Awesome.
Awesome.
unbelievable job, Regina. It's great.
This program is easy to sell. You know, once you understand what you're talking about, it is easy to sell. And just
I hope.
the one thing I will say, in the state of Tennessee, our schools have a limit of 2 fundraisers per year. So you definitely don't want to use the word fundraising. This is a book drive. But your librarians, whatever they do isn't counted in those 2 fundraisers, is what I've learned.
Mm.
Regina, could you repeat that? That's really important.
Okay. You want to present this as a book drive, not a fundraiser.
Correct.
and I don't know how other states are. I've never not heard anything from my North Carolina schools about limits, but in Tennessee, it is a law that a school can only do 2 major school-wide fundraisers a year. So you want to present it to as a book drive, but your librarians are exempt from that school-wide fundraiser. They can pretty well do whatever they want as long as they're, encouraging kids to read.
So do we have a data sheet that helps us understand exactly what we are presenting when we go to schedule an appointment or get a commitment to have an appointment?
I don't know if there's anything in particular other than just learning the materials. There's some videos of presentations around that maybe, I don't know if one of those videos could be shared. I know Ben has several of them to show the presentation, so you kind of get the ins and the outs of exactly, what we're asking of them. I just got the basics of it and just went with it that every kid in the school is going to get a free book, doesn't cost the school anything, and we do 95% of the work.
And the school does not get any funds back. They get a shopping spree for the teachers, and the kids get gifts and things based on emails that they get, and then everyone gets a free book.
Okay, as soon as they do the treasure map, they're going to get 3 prizes. There's 3 different prizes, and they're already at the school. So as soon as the student brings back the treasure map and the teacher checks the website and shows that yes, they actually did it, the student is handed those 3 prizes. So instant gratification. And then, once that is done, then everything starts falling in place. As our system takes over sending the emails. Now, on day 2, so all those that forgot to do the homework of having their parents do the treasure map on the first night, it's kind of a second chance night. So, and then starting on day 2, there are prizes. There's 4 book safes that kind of look like little treasure chests, and they've got $1 bills, $2 bills, 50-cent pieces, and little things to make them look like a treasure box. So starting on day 2, 3, 4, and 5, one student who has completed the treasure map is going to win one of those in the school. On day 6, somebody's going to win an iPad. And all of that stuff is at the school ahead of time. It goes, it's delivered either by us or sent from the warehouse, depending. Everything's going to come to me, and I'm going to take it to my school.
Right.
And then the treasure maps, right now we're printing, we're just printing as we need them. In the fall, they'll be at the home office, and they'll just print the URL on them and shrink wrap them and send them out. So, the kids are getting that, so when you're in there, little Johnny and little Susie both got their 3 prizes to take home that day, but little Katie didn't. Little Katie's going to go home and say, Mom, you didn't do your work. You have to do this treasure map with me. And so, the kids are inspired because, they're getting things. And so, and the kids, in the beginning may or may not care about the books. They want the toys that they're getting in the front end of it. So, they're getting all of that. And then the students who raise the most money, they get an extra $100 to spend at booksaretfun.com, what Books Are Fun, Book Blast, whatever the website is. The teachers, if they have a 75% or 70% participation in their class, they get $100 to spend at the website on whatever they want for their classroom or whatever. And on the website, there's additional books that can be bought. There's school supplies. There's all sorts of things. And then, and then all of the extra funds at the end, the school gets to spend on whatever they want.
Oh, okay.
Who is that masked man there?
Yeah.
He's on an airplane.
And that's part of the presentation that is given to the principal.
Principal, librarian,
Those type of
whoever
specifics.
else.
Okay.
And the meeting. So along with what Regina was saying with the printing off the sheets, what we had sent out earlier with our reminders, the cell sheet, and then the reading list, you guys can print those out Go ahead and print those out and we'll reimburse you, but make sure you are using our printing code. Me and Jim will send that out as well. Make sure you're using the Office Depot discount and make sure you're limited. Don't print out a couple of hundred. Let's start out with 50 and then kind of next 20 to 50 of each.
Yes, and the reading list should be a front and back of one page.
Yes. Yeah, print that front and back. And then again, let us know, send us your receipts and we'll get you reimbursed.
In color.
In color, very good.
Yes, definitely in color.
Hey, Bob and Jim, I just sent you guys the updated lists
Book lists.
where it
Yeah,
shows,
add up a whole-
instead of it reading as a list, it shows the titles.
Oh yeah, that's what they have, Eric.
Yep, we sent that to them.
Okay. I saw a different one earlier.
That
Yeah,
was
Gina was still using the one with the titles instead of the pictures earlier.
Yeah, okay. My bad.
Any other questions? Ben? Think he might just be in listen only?
Yeah, he's flying home.
We got him hamstrung here. So,
Karen, what do you think? You think you could sell this care? Get its presentation? Karen?
Yeah, sorry.
Yep. What do you think?
I think so. I still have a lot of questions. I think I need to do a little more investigating and like to look at whatever flyers or whatever you have. I don't feel comfortable presenting, this tomorrow. But-
Okay, well, you're not really presenting. All you're doing is dangling enough carrots in front of them to
Right.
get them to
No,
the appointment.
yeah, I don't mean presenting.
Okay,
I mean to
okay.
even dangle a carrot. I think I need to be a little bit more persuasive in what I'm trying to do.
so to go along with that, one other thing that we did finalize on Friday is we kind of got our rep groupings together and identified what for closers. So once we schedule a meeting or have a contact or a librarian interested, and they say, yes, we're available next Tuesday at 7:30 in the morning or 8 o'clock in the morning, or at 3 in the afternoon. At that point, we're going to send some information out. Let's say, Joe, you would call Eric Whiteside or Eric Morris and say, hey, I've got Jefferson Elementary in Milwaukee that would like to, schedule a meeting. Then Eric would in turn look at his calendar, make sure he can make it. And these guys will actually work around your times if they can to schedule these meetings. You're going to be needed in this meeting as well, in this Zoom meeting. They're going to want you with them. Any questions on that at all? And am I clear in putting that out there, Regina? Is that pretty much how it goes?
Yeah, so I've been working with Ben, and when a school contacts me, I kind of get a time from them, and then I make sure it's okay with him, and then I send him all the email addresses for the people. And basically when I tell them a day, because obviously I do have another job to do, and right now, because, I've only got certain schools that I can get into for displays, I'm not in the field 5 days a week. So I have certain days that I can dedicate to doing presentations and stuff. And there was one we were going to do that, I was going to have to do it from the van. It was just a planning meeting or whatever, because it was the one that we had to postpone till fall or whatever. But, just look at your schedules and, whatever you're doing, see if you can free yourself up for a certain period of time and focus on those times. Like the group that we're going to do Thursday morning, I just told them, can we do it at 9 a.m. because I'm actually going out of town Thursday to move my daughter back home. So, I just needed it to get done fairly early and everything. So, just figure out when you're available first and give them that window of opportunity. But also whoever you're working with as quote your closer or whatever, kind of know what their schedule is or whatever. Like I had one that might go at 11 today, and we've actually put it on Thursday at 12, but I texted Ben last night just to see for sure if he was free at 11 today. So you just have to communicate.
So when we want to get a presentation, do we email Ben? Do we email Bob? Who do we email?
Well, that's what I just said, Liz. We'll send you out your
Oh, okay.
schedule a
Thank
meeting.
you.
We'll send you out a number on who you're to contact with, because there's
Sorry.
4 of them. There's Ben, Eric Whiteside, Charlie Schneider, and then Eric Morris as well from the pop side. You guys probably know most of the first 3. And then Eric comes from the Step It Up pop side of the business.
Sorry. I was multitasking.
No problem. Most of us are this time of the night.
Bob,
Yeah.
Jim, the presentation we had last week from from Ben, Jim, and Bob was good. What we've had at night from Regina and you guys has been good. But I don't know if the other people like me, what is the possibility if we did a third Zoom on this and either Regina would do it, you would do it, Jim would do it. Let's do a role play. And what I mean by that is Regina's gonna, or you or Jim is like, you're gonna walk into the school and we're gonna see what you do. We're gonna start at first base and we're gonna go all the way around the diamond.
Everyone feels like I said.
See exactly. Does that make sense? Could we see that?
Or
Yeah.
No comment?
what's Ben saying? I would let your contacts see the booklets and let them know. Let them know you want to get thousands of dollars of books into the hands of kids at zero cost for them. Could you see the comment from the chat box?
Yeah, I mean, I'm only now taking the paper in just because I'm going to the school, but they all already have the information. So, I would start with email, just like Ben's just said. I mean, it's a great way to get a lot of info out to a lot of people really fast.
I think if we wanted to role play a little bit, Randy, to your point, I mean, if that's something we wanted to get a group together for, we could, but I think it would be more about scheduling the meeting than it was the actual program. What could we take from maybe Ben's presentation and use that to answer some of the initial questions to get the meeting scheduled? That's something that we could talk about and get a group together for.
Okay.
Yeah, guys, I would just keep it super simple. We have a program that gets thousands of dollars, the hottest books around right now today, into the hands of kids. We do all the work at zero cost to them. Would they be interested in hearing more about the program? And that's it. You just want to pique their appetite a little bit, and then we set up a meeting where we get to present the whole program. You don't have to sell them on it. Just ask them, would you like to get thousands of dollars of books into your kids' hands? They're going to say yes. Would you like to do it for free? They're going to say yes. Would you like to do it for virtually no effort? They're going to say yes. Would you like to hear more? Sweet. Let's schedule a meeting. Let's get the principal in there if we can. This program is amazing, and schools are just, their minds are blown with the results that we're seeing. You don't have to sell it. What I'm trying to say is don't overcomplicate it for yourselves. Do they want books? Do they want them for free? Do they want them for their kids and for like zero effort? Start there. Yeah, less is more. Short and simple.
What is it? Keep it simple.
Yeah, stupid.
Well, I didn't want to say the last one.
Salesperson, keep it simple, salesperson.
There you go. Any other, we're coming up on an hour, everyone. Any other questions? We don't want to keep you too long, but any other questions, comments?
Oh, what? Oh, look at Eric said raised $220.
That's awesome.
Since we've been on this call.
So I'm just thinking out loud, you know, let's just try to make it a goal, like from in the next week to each send out, let's make a number, you know, what is it, 25, 30 emails to contacts that you would want.
Your
And
best contact, yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Out.
All right, check back.
Hey, Bob,
Yes, sir.
in the future, when I don't email Jim and let him know I'm coming, Jim knows I'm coming.
I just thought it was funny, Randy, that you accepted my invite in the middle of the meeting. That's all I was.
Well, see, it came from you. If it had came from Jim, I would have answered.
Thanks a lot, Randy.
All right, guys. Well, we'll probably get together again as a group within the next week or so, give updates, and please let us know if you got any questions, and me and Jim will be feeding you full of results and information to arm yourselves with to get some of these locked down. All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.
Thanks, Regina.
Yeah, thank you, Regina, so much.
You're welcome.